Okay. All right, I see the recording thing up there. Great. Okay, are we all ready to go? I guess so.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Education Policy Meeting on January 10th, 2023. Ms. Kuzinski, please call the roll.
Sure. Mr. Grippo? Mr. White?
Here.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Great. All rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My mouth stopped working there for a second. Okay. Looks like we're doing all right. I'm at the new home base, so I guess my Wi-Fi over here is a little untested. So hopefully I'll be able to hang in there.
You look good with green screen background and all.
Okay, everyone there is all right. Tim looks frozen. Oh, great, fantastic. Okay, so Dr. Solon, is there any public comment on tonight's meeting?
No, sir.
Or public comment of our prior meetings? Okay, great. So we'll move to the first item of strategic goals, performance standards. Which I think is the second reading, right? So we've seen this all before.
It is.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't remember any of it. So what were we?
Yeah, so
Please
this
refresh my memory.
Sure. This, if you recall, was what the board had adopted in the fall, and we just needed it to be reflected in our policy manual. It kind of outlines the history of our goal setting and speaks to the goals that were adopted around complex thinking and social emotional learning, as well as the principles for success, the vision of the graduate. Again, these are the items that these are the things that we had in there previously, the 17 goals that we ended up removing. And then the performance standards updates. So kind of a combination of work done through a lot of meetings with PTOs and PTAs, with teachers, with school business partnership, with the personalized learning task force. And then the board, like I said, adopted this fall. It was just, we have to update the policy manual to reflect that adoption. That's all.
Understood. Are there any questions or comments on this? Seeing, is everyone still here? I see video pause due to network problems. Is that my side or me? I don't know.
I think that might be
Tim,
your
go
side.
ahead.
Let's see everybody.
Yeah,
Oh.
I got locked out for the conversation for the last like 2 minutes.
Tim had his hand.
Tim, you
up.
may want to just drop your microphone up. There we go. Thanks.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I got locked out of the conversation. I left and came back, so I missed the last 2 minutes. But I mean, if we're not changing anything, I was comfortable with this last time. It was almost like an afterthought, from what I recall, because we voted on it separately and we just have to incorporate it. I'm totally fine with this.
Yeah, this is something the full board had reviewed, and it's just a matter of adding it to our policy manual.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm going to turn my video off just because I think I've got a bad connection tonight.
Okay. You're on mute, Adam.
Yeah, I don't hear Adam. Oh, yeah, he's got mute on.
like I've never done this before.
This is a rusty
All right,
one
can
after
everyone
the
hear me now?
holidays. It's the first one
Yes.
after the holidays, always a little rusty.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to nepotism. Seeing no other comments.
Okay, I'll just present that screen here. If you recall, this is the policy that we had adjusted years back and received recent guidance around our ability to make some more adjustments. And so what you see here, the big one was the second paragraph where it indicates, for the purpose of this policy, a foreman shall be considered a supervisor, because contrary to, I think, what one would consider to be conventional wisdom, the state does not see a foreman as a supervisor. We learned that, this fall, I guess, and now we're making that adjustment to our policy. But the attorney, when she did review it, Rebecca, highlighted some updates, like, for example, civil union, which is no longer recognized in Connecticut, things like that. So that's why she made some recommendations as it relates to that.
Okay, so were there any additional recommendations since the last time we looked at this, or these are
No,
the same ones essentially, right? 'Cause
exactly what we had previously reviewed.
Okay, great. All right, any comments or concerns? No? Okay. Seeing that there aren't any comments or concerns, I will motion that we move policy number 0025, strategic goals, performance standards, and policy number 4112.8 /4212.8 nepotism move for a second reading. Is there a second? Anybody? Hello?
No, we both seconded.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? I'll tell you, I got to get a repeater out here. This is crazy.
From my review,
I apologize. This is my fault.
From my video, it looked like Sam seconded the second. So she was second to second. So Tim got that one. We'll
Okay.
save the next one for.
Apparently, my network is so bad I can't see your video, which is crazy. I've never had that happen before. So, okay, all in favor? And there's two.
Unanimous.
And I'm guessing Sam raised her hand. I just can't. Okay,
Yes.
great. Thank you. And that passes. And we'll move on to item number 4, which is third reading for administering medication.
This is as it was initially written.
Yeah. We covered all the questions, I believe, in our last meeting.
The only exciting update here is I've been trained in Narcan administration again since our last meeting.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's definitely going on the resume.
That reminds me, I guess, after the events at the football game, I'm guessing we have adequate training on our what else called AE. Are those AED devices or?
Yeah, automatic
AED
external
devices.
The AED. Yeah, those are incorporated into first aid training for all of our coaches. We haven't done first aid training for our administration recently. I'll make a note of that for our summer program. But the coaches are all AED trained as part of first aid training that they are required to have.
That's great. Good to know.
Do,
Little peace of mind, I suppose.
Yeah.
do we have
Tim?
do we have AEDs near in general proximity to our fields that we use? And then also above and beyond that, you know, the swimming pool is not actually part of the school. Hockey rink we don't have. Generally, are you aware? I mean, do most places have AEDs at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
We have one outside near the football field. I want to say there's one at Bartlam Park as well. I think there's one in every public park now, the major public parks around town. I want to say Jack Kasner, our fire chief and emergency services coordinator for the community, has told me that before. We also have them in the schools, including right here in Humiston. There's one at each school in the event of cardiac arrest. So they are pretty widely available in this community, which is really positive.
Thank you.
Sure.
So since I can't see Sam, I'm guessing she doesn't have any additional comments.
I do not. I just read,
No.
that's only a second round of Narcan training.
Yeah.
Hopefully not by choice or
Yeah. Well,
by choice?
because I'm an athletic coach,
Oh,
I just happen to have first aid CPR training and knock that one
Okay.
out too.
so that's going to be part of the CPR training process added on to.
I don't know if it's always part of the process. And it was Coach Trafone who trained me. He's a trained first aid CPR trainer. But we certainly addressed it in the training that I had with him. So
What's the typical cycle on all these? I know you said once a year for the coaches as far as the AED, but
well, no, we the first aid CPR, I want to say is every 3 years or every 2 years. Narcan doesn't have a training, and technically either does AED. Anybody, it's those Narcan and the AED are designed to be used at the very pedestrian level, that anybody could kind of just walk up and use it. The AED is not going to deliver a shock unless all of the components are properly used. So the way that it works is that the cabinet opens to take the AED out, and a siren goes off to alert people. So hopefully they call 911. You grab the pack, you bring it over. As soon as you turn it on, it starts talking you through what has to happen.
Right.
So it'll tell you, that you have to place the patches in certain places. There's visual directions there as well as the auditory talking you through it. It'll tell you where to place the patches, and then it'll say checking for, conditions for a shock. It'll tell you to step away from the victim, and it'll deliver the shock if the conditions are appropriate. There has to be some sort of quiver in the heart. It's designed to just put you into the right rhythm. If you have no heartbeat, it's not going to help you. CPR is better.
Right.
And then Narcan is just a nasal spray. I talked to Chief Drife just last week in a meeting where we were discussing with Michelle Picarillo some funds that were available through federal grants or state grants that she received as part of the opioid settlements. And they say they resuscitate in Cheshire, not always a Cheshire resident, but resuscitate about one person a month. in Cheshire who probably would have died of an overdose if it weren't for Narcan. So it's pretty powerful. It doesn't have to be a Cheshire resident. It could just be somebody here. It's not likely to be one of our students or staff, but it could happen.
Right.
More likely accidentally if it happens in our schools, but nevertheless, it's a life-saving device, so we have it.
And that's a great distinction. At least for me, I never knew that if you had no pulse, that device would not really be of help. That CPR would actually be better. That's
Right.
a little helpful data point that someone should know. So, all right. So are there any other questions on this policy? If not, I will make a motion. Okay. I'll move that policy 5141.213, administering medication, be moved to a third and final reading. Is there a second on that? Since I can't see anything, I'll have to just take your word for it. Someone raised their hand. I can't see or
Yeah.
hear any. Everyone's
Tim
muted.
was
I
the
can't
first
see
one.
anything.
Peter,
All right, Tim. Okay, man, I'll tell you, I gotta buy some repeaters for this place. Apologize again. Okay,
No
so we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And
It's
I,
unanimous.
Unanimous.
Tim. I can't see you. Unanimous. Fantastic. All right. Thank you, everyone.
This is like the early days
I have
of
other on the
teaching
agenda.
in the pandemic.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
nothing.
this is pretty bad. I've never had it bad. Yeah. Okay, so let's just end this fun meeting. That's all we have on the agenda. So move to adjourn. All in favor? Aye.
Unanimous.
Yes. All right. Yes. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you
Thanks.
Thursday. Right.
Thanks,
That's
Adam.
open, I believe.
Night, everybody.
So we'll see you then. Watch the raindrops. Night. Thank you. Bye-bye.